Hi, everybody. This is Mr. Conklin back for, I believe it is the third session of the CLT Prep. We're going to be going through questions 85 and 86. Again, we're talking about Test 1, Edition 1 on the 2018-2019 test. We're looking at problems 85 and 86 today. The next video we'll be doing 87 and 88. And let's take a look at number 85 first. It says, for a given angle theta, the sine of theta is equal to 1. What is cosine of theta? Well, I'm going to slip this paper up here. Part of the issue is finding out what does sine and cosine mean. Now, I'm going to give the fast answer, and then I'm going to give a slightly longer answer. Sine of theta, there is in trig, there's something called the unit circle. And in the unit circle, its center is at 0, 0. And the radius, the distance from the center to the edge, is 1. That means it's the nicest possible circle to draw. Let's see if I can draw a relatively nice circle. It's not too bad. But that means here's 0, 0. And then all of these points are one space away from the center. Now, again, there's a big, long explanation behind this, but when you take any old angle theta, that means here, like you're opening it up, here's the 0 degree position, here's the 90 degree position, 180 degree position. They count counterclockwise. I'll tell you more about that later. But you can go all 360 degrees if you go to the left, counterclockwise. And so you hit the 90 degree position, blah, blah, blah. Here, this mystery point, through a series of things I can explain later, is we know exactly where this point is. It has to have a center at 0, 0 and a radius of 1 in order for this to work. But if so, this is going to be cosine of theta, comma, sine of theta. So if you've seen the unit circle before, hopefully that'll jog your memory. If you have not seen it before, that'll take a little bit more explanation. But for now, cosine of theta, comma, sine of theta. So cosine of theta is how far over your point is, left, right. And sine of theta is how far up or down your point is. Now, we've got a kind of an odd one here. It says that the sine of theta is equal to 1. Just a second. There we go. I had to adjust the lighting there. The sine of theta is equal to 1. Now that's curious. Remember, sine is how far up or down on the circle. If you're right here, like at the 0 degree position, you're not up or down at all. The sine of theta right here would be 0. Then the sine of theta here would be like 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. Keeps going up, 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 up. Guess what it would be up here? That's as high up as you can go. And if you remember, the radius is 1. So if you're straight up, the sine of theta at 90 degrees, the sine of 90 degrees is equal to 1. And that's the only place on the circle where that's true. So if the sine of theta is 1, then theta, let me just put it this way. If the sine of theta is 1, the theta must be 90 degrees. I mean, that's kind of an interesting discovery. Now, they're asking us, what's the cosine? Normally, we'd say, well, how am I supposed to know? They gave us the sine. How do you get the cosine? On a unit circle, cosine is how far left or right you are. So over here at the 0 degree position, you'll notice cosine of 0 degrees, it's to the right 1 space. So the cosine of 0 degrees would be 1. Then it goes backwards from there. It's going to get smaller and smaller. So here'd be like the cosine is 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, 0.6, 0.5, blah, 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 blah. And all the way over here, it'd be the cosine of 180 degrees is the other way. It's -1. It would be -1 to the left. But what's the cosine, the left-rightness, if you will, of 90 degrees? Because we know that's our angle. So the cosine of 90 degrees, and we know what that is. It's not over at all. The cosine of 90 degrees must be 0. Okay, this assumes some familiarity with the unit circle. And let's see how the choices. Cosine of 90 degrees, 0. Choice A. I will try and put together another video for people who have never seen this before. This will be very challenging for anybody who has not seen trig before. For anybody who has seen the unit circle, hopefully it's jogged your memory. Okay. Next, number 86. A bookstore, sorry, it's crooked here. A bookstore decides to divide its space into 3 sections: nonfiction, novels, and stationery. This is a little funny. This is misspelled. It's supposed to be station E-R-Y. Stationary with an A is like standing put. It's like not moving, like a stationary object. Stationary with an E is like notebooks and filler paper and things like that that you would sell in the papers goods section of a bookstore. So naughty, CLT. That's supposed to be stationary with an E. Anyway, the book wants to devote 1/6 of its space to stationery. If the total area of the bookstore is 288 square feet and the stationery section will be 12 feet long, how wide will the stationery section be? Now, they're talking about area. Let me cover up their answers just let me flip this around. Okay. Now, 1/6 of its space to stationery. Now, we have 288 square feet of area. And they have 1/6 of that area of 288 square feet is for stationery. L-O-N-E-R-Y, just saying. Now, how much is that? Well, does 6 go into 288? As it turns out, it does. Let me do it over here. 288 over 6. That actually reduces to 144 over 3. And 3 goes into 14 4 times. So that's like 12. It leaves 2 behind. And then 3 goes into 24 8 times. So 48 square feet for stationary. Does that make sense? Now, it said the stationary feet will be 12 feet long. And assuming it sounds like they're using a rectangle, that kind of makes sense because floor space on a room is usually rectangular. They didn't actually say, so we're kind of making an assumption that this is a rectangular spot. But if they're talking about length and width, it's a reasonable assumption. This is 12 feet. And this is, I have no idea how many feet. That's the width. But we already know that's 48 square feet. So, and the area is length times width. So the area, which is 48 square feet, is equal to the length, which is 12, times x. So now all you have to do is divide both sides by 12. Oh, this is 12 feet, sorry. And these will cancel, and x equals, 48 over 12 is 4, and then feet squared divided by feet is feet. And there you go. So 4 feet, choice A. Good enough? All right. So thanks for listening. I'm kind of tempted to say, if you like my channel, hit subscribe and click like on the video. I honestly couldn't care less if you do that. Just so long as it's useful and as long as you know it. All the YouTube recorders say that, so I figured I might as well jump on the bandwagon. Anyway, take care, God bless, and we will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.